All right. All right. All right. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Saturday morning. It is it is Saturday morning. Oh. Get my coffee cake going here. Mm. Ah, that's milk, by the way, with my coffee cake. Mm. Mm. All right. Well, let's get started here. First things first, good morning. Why is this so early? I got a lot of stuff to do today. That's just, I'm going to keep it 100%. I got a lot of stuff to do today. So it's going to get done. So I'm going ahead and going to do the podcast now. I'm going to talk about HDR, and I'm going to read directly from Digital Trends. I left a link in the script. I left a link in the chat for all you all to go behind me and check. Let's see. We'll talk about that. I'm going to talk about some Black Friday stuff. I'm going to give you the best TVs that I have seen that will be on sale on Black Friday. If anybody has any questions, just direct message me or ask me within the chat. And because there are some good deals going around on TVs and on, but I got a sneaky suspicion that if they're good deals price wise, but the TVs ain't gonna be that good. And that's it. We'll talk a little bit about Dolby Vision, and then we'll go from there. And I got to learn a little bit more about Dolby Vision. But that's about it. But hopefully everybody's here. Yeah, good morning to everybody. What's up? All day is good. What's up, the True 49? Teching Gods, how you doing? It's early, yeah, I know. I mean, if you're on the West Coast, I certainly hope you still sleep. It's 5:30 in the morning, so I don't expect any West Coast visitors this morning. But I just want to talk about HDR, and we're going to get into it because there's been people literally. Shout out to my man Jay Fonz. He got somebody bitching and moaning about HDR and stuff like that. You had allegedly he took a screenshot of it, and then allegedly you had the Xbox 2 podcast. I'm saying allegedly because I didn't hear it, and allegedly Jez Gordon was talking about what HDR was and wasn't, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to read into the record what it is, and therefore what he'll sleep when you're dead. Okay, I understand that. But shout out to the 9 people that are here. We'll go ahead and get it started. So here we go. Here we go. So basically, this is the basics with HDR. Okay. And the only reason I can see the chat is because I'm looking at it on my phone. So, but HDR is an acronym. It stands for high dynamic range. Okay. And basically, it's measured in contrast. Its contrast is measured by the differences between the brightest whites and the darkest blacks a TV can display, as measured in candelas per square meter, CD/M2, known as nits. That's why you'll hear people say, how many nits does it have? I mean, you'll hear HDR 10, HDR 1000. Samsung has this big board of HDR Plus, HDR Premium. At that point, you're getting to the gamuts, the color gamuts of what looks good, what looks bad. So, but we'll keep on reading, okay? The ideal low end is completely black or 0 nits, okay? Currently only possible on OLED displays, so which can turn pixels completely off, which this is why OLEDs have the best picture. So on the high end, it's a different story. Standard dynamic range, or SDR TVs, generally produce 300 to 500 nits at most, but in general, HDR TVs aim much higher. So let's start right there. SDR. Now, how do I know about SDR? Because remember, the first 4K TV I had, the Samsung, it was a 40-inch 6300 series. It only went to 500 nits. So it was mimicking HDR. Remember, I had played Mass Effect Andromeda. I thought, all right, well, it looks all right. I mean, it looks good. But then when I replayed Mass Effect Andromeda on a TV with at least 10 nits or 1,000, if you want to look at it like that, I'm like, man, it looked like a totally different game. I'm like, it blew me away with the way it looked. I'm like, damn, this looks outstanding. But that's because I had a full HDR TV now. So I know I've suffered in the SDR range. So when people are talking about the game, Red Dead Redemption, saying it has fake HDR, it's because you can only go to about 500 nits on your HDR settings. If you still have the game, I got rid of it because I ain't going to play a game with fake HDR, okay? I just rather just not have it on, at all. But so if you have this game, you can go to the HDR settings screen, and the highest it'll let you go is 500 or 5. I can't remember. It's either 500 or 5, but 5 on their scale is 500. So that's why they mean when people say it has fake HDR, it has standard dynamic range. That's fake HD. That's not high dynamic range. That's standard. That's like 720p versus, which is standard HD. Okay, fine. And then you have 1080p, which is full HD. There's a difference. That's just reality. There is a difference. So, and we'll continue to move on here. So, now where was I? Okay, some top tier models can display upwards of 2,000 nits of peak brightness for HDR highlights. At CES 2018, Sony showed off a prototype TV capable of a whopping 10,000 nits of peak brightness. I think this is the TV that Dark Cloud has talked about before when he says they have a TV that just blew him away. I think this was the TV he was talking about. But goddamn, 10,000 nits, that you could land an aircraft, you could land an airplane, with light that bright. So, all right. So in April 2016, the UHD Alliance, an industry made up of companies like Samsung, LG, Sony, Panasonic, Dolby, and many others. You notice Microsoft is not here. But these are your companies. So when you look at 4K TVs, all right, so people have asked me, man, I don't even know which TV to look at. So you start with these. Start with Samsung, LG, Sony, Panasonic. And I don't know if Dolby's more sound. If you can find a Dolby TV, fine. But these 4 TVs right here will probably be your first look, okay? You can probably even throw TCL in there. But ultimately, they're part of the alliance, okay? So they're going to have the best stuff. And so it says, announced the Ultra HD Premium certification for UHD Blu-ray players. The benchmark sets some baseline goals for HDR, such as the ability to display up to 1,000 nits of peak brightness. So when you see TVs that say HDR 1000, this is what they mean. That's what they mean. 1,000 nits are full HDR. Okay, that's full HDR. Peak brightness and a minimum 10-bit color depth. Now, that's why you hear me say HDR 10. You'll hear people say HDR, it goes up to 500. It goes up to, and now they're talking about the display. When you hear them, so that game, I don't want to confuse people here, the game only goes up to 500. So this means the benchmark has not even been met. So when people say it's fake, they're telling you the truth, okay? This proves what they're saying. So when you see somebody being argumentative, you dismiss them. You now know the truth, and this is digital trends. This is not nothing that has anything to do with the console, fake-ass console war. This has everything to do with you getting the right information into your hands so that you can make an informed decision, period. Because you don't want to walk into these stores, drop $600, $700, $800, and then get faked out. get faked out by fake HDR or fake 4K, whatever you want to call it, fake sounds. Because the TVs are good enough, the technology is good enough to mimic stuff at this point. It just is. Trust me, I got burned on the 6300. That's why I say to you guys, stay away from the 6300 lines. Because I am walking, talking, living proof. And if you don't ask the right questions and you don't do the right homework, you're gonna get burned. It happened to me. I'm just saying, look at me and look at me as an example. Look, if I can go ahead and have that happen to me and then give you all the right information to ask, that's a win for everybody, right? Right. That's a win. Okay, we can't say it's not a win, okay? And that's the main thing, is you all winning at the end of the day. You know, because you walk into these, whether you go to a Target, a Best Buy, a Walmart, wherever you go, you got a shit ton of choices to make. And you can get overwhelmed. I mean, we just can. It happens. I've seen people at Best Buy just getting overwhelmed by stuff. You know, and it's because they don't know the right answers and they're looking for the person on the floor to give them the right answers. And Best Buy does a good job of doing that, but they're not going to answer questions that you don't ask. And that's just a reality. So it says the best HDR TV models will not only meet these standards, but exceed them. And that's what I'm trying to get you all to understand, is that you can find a way of not only, I understand if you got the money to go walk in there and get it, go get it now. But what we're trying to do here, at least what I try to do on my podcast when I talk about this stuff, is I want you all to not only have something that meets the standard, but then you'll be able to exceed them. You just have to wait longer. Okay, you may not have the money to buy it. I understand that. You may have the money to go buy it, you know, but if you don't, we can exceed them. That's why I always joke about AMD and Intel. If AMD is giving you something comparable, and in some cases exceeds what Intel gives you, not in all cases, in some cases, and then you can walk out with a little more money in your pocket, where you can go get some steak and eggs, or you can go to the strip bar and get you a nice little dance from that fine looking cutie. You're the winner here. You are the winner. Okay, so it says with support for more than one major HDR technology. Okay, as technology moves forward, we're seeing TVs exceed those initial standards by leaps and bounds. So what they're saying is that the technology is now at the exceeding point. Okay, now we'll keep going. While there are multiple HDR formats, there are currently two major players: Dolby's proprietary Dolby Vision format, okay, and the HDR10 open standard, this standard HDR, okay? Remember the number 10? 10 is also equal to 1,000. So don't get confused if you hear somebody say, well, does it have HDR10? Oh, this has HDR 1,000. That's the same thing, guys. That's the exact same thing, okay? So Dolby was first to the party, and for a short time. Dolby Vision was essentially synonymous with HDR, but not every manufacturer wanted to play by Dolby's rules or pay its fees. Remember, Dolby Vision is hardware. And many started working on their own alternatives. Companies quickly realized that this could lead to madness. Madness. And many popular manufacturers, including LG, Samsung, Sharp, Sony, and Vizio, eventually agreed on the HDR10 open standard. Both formats beat the alliance's standard mentions above, however, but they just go about it. They go about it differently. So when you hear somebody, I mean, this is where you guys on good. If you hear somebody saying, well, Dolby Vision is better, it's the same damn thing. You're looking at it here in black and white. This is Digital Trends. This ain't a Sony website. This ain't a Microsoft website. It's not a Nintendo website. It ain't your mama's website. This is just Digital Trends Home Theater. Okay? This is the reality that you have to live in. You don't have to live in no fake ass reality like these fake fanboys and their fake gaming skills. Hold on, I need a shot of milk. Yeah. All right. So let's look at some of your formats here that you all need to look for if you're looking for a UHD TV with HDR. So HDR10, you'll see this on the boxes, or you'll see this in your little description tag. It says, while Dolby Vision may have been the first, HDR10 is currently the most popular format. Supported by a wide swath, that means a lot, of TV makers. The format isn't as technologically advanced as Dolby Vision's theoretical specs, but then again, neither are most Dolby Vision enabled TVs you can go out and buy right now. Now, this is a 2018 article, so don't let these people fake the funk with you, okay? All right, Dolby is better based on theory. The theory has not been even proven yet. It's just a theory. That's why it's called theory, okay? When it becomes reality, it will then go into becoming a fact, but it's a theory right now. And you all are getting the facts right now. So the HDR10 standard was codified by the CTA, the same group behind the annual Consumer Electronics Show. That's CES, ladies and gentlemen. So the Consumer Technology Association, puts on the CES show that everybody goes to. LG, Sony, Samsung, Panasonic, everybody, LG, you name it, TCL, they're all going to be there. There's going to be movie studios there. Marvel will be there with Disney because they're looking at the new technologies. Who else will be there? Paramount will be there. All right. Universal Studios will be there. All right. So here we go. I kind of got lost there. Okay. All right. Here we are. The spec currently uses 10-bit color depth while Dolby uses 12-bit. Okay. Both of these offer millions of colors per pixel, and the difference will be difficult to spot, dependent upon how a given movie or TV show is mastered. Okay. So if you see a TV show or a movie, let's just say you go get a movie. Like I got the Avengers. I'll just look at Infinity War, okay? That is in HDR. It's not in Dolby Vision. So if I had a TV with Dolby Vision and it tried to play the movie, it's going to play it with the same quality as HDR. Okay, because it's not taking advantage of Dolby Vision. So, and that's just reality. Even if my TV can display in Dolby Vision, the movie Avengers is not doing that. Okay, so and there's a litany of reasons on why. Okay, so since one of the goals of HDR is to offer greater color volume at higher color depth is desirable, at least in theory, but even 10-bit color is a major step up from 8-bit color. That's SDR. 8-bit is SDR. All right. And depth used in standard dynamic range TV, SDR. See? I kind of answered my own question there. So both HDR10 and Dolby Vision use metadata that rides along the video signal down an HDMI cable that allows the source TV to tell a TV how to display the colors. Since HDR10 uses a fairly simple approach, sending metadata once the video has started, this is enough to essentially tell the TV the video is encoded using HDR and you should treat it this way. But as we'll show later, Dolby Vision takes a more thorough approach. So basically HDR is just giving you, it's like go to the refrigerator and grab a beer. Okay, that's HDR. Okay, here, go, hey, you got something to drink? Yeah, go in the refrigerator and go grab one. Now, look, if I get to the refrigerator, I may have 4 different kind of beers there. Now, that's Dolby Vision. Dolby Vision is going to select, hey, go get this beer. Go get that beer. Oh, don't drink that beer. That's for my wife. That's for my girl. That's my girl's beer. Don't drink that. That's the difference, but it's doing the exact same thing. So, what's going on, Ice Queen? Oh, a lot of people that came in. Shout out to you all. So, let's see here. What's going on there, Trey BK? Shout out to everybody that's here. Mr. 901, good morning. So let's see here. Paul G was happening. Samuel Ashmead was happening. Andrew Wilkins. So HDR for me on Spider-Man looked good. But so all right. Buenos dias. All right, here we go. So now we're right here. While HDR10 plays it safer than Dolby Vision when it comes to technology, it's also more feasible for TV manufacturers to implement at present. Feasible means it's cheaper. That's just, let's call it what it is. It's cheaper. That's why we're doing it, right? So, all right. So it has become the most popular of the two formats. In addition, HDR10 is an open standard. TV manufacturers can implement it free of charge. That, you know, it is also recommended by the UHD Alliance, which we all know that's Sony, LG, Panasonic, the rest of those guys, you know, Samsung, you know, the rest of them, which generally prefers open standards to proprietary formats. All right, now we're going to go to HDR10. All right. All right. Then there is the matter of HDR10 Plus, which Samsung and Amazon announced in April of 17. HDR10 Plus works much more like Dolby Vision, utilizing dynamic metadata that allows TVs to adjust brightness on a scene-by-scene or even a frame-by-frame basis. So that's going to give you the best picture overall, okay? Because you're going screen by screen, scene by scene, okay? That is phenomenal tech, okay? One way in which it differs from Dolby Vision is its color bit depth, which like HDR10 is limited to 10-bit color depth. This may eventually limit its longevity. That said, this won't matter in the near term due to hardware with content limitations. And Samsung is so bullish, that means they're confident, okay, on the format that the company added HDR10 support to all its 2018 QLED TVs. Okay, so if you have a 2018 QLED, all right, which is this year, you've got one of those, you got HDR10. Okay, it's also available on Panasonic's 2018 4K OLED line. So, but that's not available stateside. So if you hear somebody say, yeah, man, I got that Panasonic OLED, it means they got it from overseas. And then what you can say to them is, oh, well, cool. I mean, what country did you get it from? If they say they got it here in the United States, they're lying because it's not available, okay? So that was unveiled at CES 2018, but its support is still relatively limited. So, all right. Now, we move into Dolby Vision, all right? Though HDR10 is currently supported by more TVs, that might not always be the case. In terms of sheer technological might, Dolby Vision has a clear advantage, even with current TVs. As referenced above, Dolby Vision superiority could become even more apparent in the future. So, goes into, here's Dolby Vision, okay? Dolby Vision support a 12-bit color depth as opposed to the 10-bit color depth supported by HDR10 and 10 Plus may eventually allow for more vibrant colors and better color accuracy. Now it says may eventually because it's just Dolby Vision, the way it's doing things is theoretical, not been proven yet. It's just a theory. On paper, it works. I'm sure they put it into practical uses. I don't know any movie houses that use Dolby Vision though, do you? I'm not saying that they don't. I know they had Dolby Sound. That's a difference. Dolby Sound, I think, is SDDS. I think, or it's either that or Skywalker Sound. But Skywalker Sound, that's what you have with the 7.1. In 7.1, you're getting into the Skywalker Sound. So that was invented by Industrial Lights and Magic. That's why it's called Skywalker Sound. Industrial Lights and Magic at the time was owned by Lucas, and George Lucas is the one that created the Star Wars movie. So that's why it's called Skywalker Sound. Okay. So Dolby Vision also features higher theoretical brightness. There's the word theoretical again. So you all just understand this, okay? If it's theoretical, again, it has not been proven. It's a theory. It's a theory. All right? So that now it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that it's not practical yet. It's not in practical use yet. So, and that's just and part of the reason is because it costs so much damn money. But all right, so HDR10 currently maxes out its nits at 4,000. Though most content is only mastered to 1,000 nits. That's true. That is true. Okay. While Dolby Vision is designed to support up to 10,000 nits of peak brightness. So let's just say these new studios that Microsoft have, I'm just trying to translate this to what the games could look like. The first party studios that Microsoft has, because the Xbox One X supports Dolby Vision, okay? In theory, their games, one to two of these studios needs to put Dolby Vision into practical use. Therefore, you could have one of the best looking, cleanest games ever made, if not the best looking game made. Now, the game may be garbage. The game itself may be straight garbage, but it will be a great looking game because it'll be so damn bright. So, but at the end of the day, so despite what we saw at CES 2018, no TV on the market currently handles anything near that bright. But that will no doubt change in the future, making Dolby Vision posed to deliver more brightness information when TVs and content catch up. So that's kind of where you want to be. 3 to 5 years from now, everything may have Dolby Vision. But that could be a reason why Samsung's TVs, the NU series, N is in Nancy, U is in utility, the NU series, they're getting rid of their HDR. I mean, they've got HDR compatibility, but which ain't real HDR. It's SDR. Okay, it's standard dynamic range. So you all need to know that when you go buy your TVs. So brightness and color depth are the only areas where Dolby Vision has a theoretical advantage over HDR10, as touched on above. While HDR10 transmits only static metadata, that's when it starts playing, Dolby uses dynamic metadata, which can vary by scene or even per frame basis. That's pretty damn good tech. HDR10 does close the gap here, sending metadata information more often, but Dolby Vision still offers some advantages. So the Dolby Vision spec allows your TV to source data about the screens that were used to master the scene. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. Dolby Vision specs allow your TV to source data about the screen that were used to master the scene. So it's gonna find the best version and it's gonna implement it to all scenes. Okay, so again, this is for people who are watching movies. Okay, if you are a big movie guy like me, this has my attention. Okay. So this has my attention. So, but my Blu-ray player, the Samsung 85D, does not do Dolby Vision because remember, they don't support it. Samsung don't support it yet. So Samsung may come out with a player at CES next year and it's Dolby Vision. And then I'll be like, oh, Christ. That's what I'll be like, oh, no. So since in the editing lab of the studio, it can automatically account for the differences between your TV and the gear the pros uses. This leads to an image that is automatically adapted to best fit your individual display. That's actually pretty nice. Let me take a drink on that one. So finally, when it comes to connecting external hardware, where Dolby Vision can be delivered over HDMI 1.4, according to Panasonic's the PAGA, the PAG-ME, Panasonic's Assistant General Management System, HDMI 10 requires 2.0. So 2.0 bits versus 1.4. So if you have an HDR cable and it's 1.4, and you got some moist ass simp saying that you need 2.0 for HDR 10, they're right. Okay, they're not being moist. But they're being moist if you want to switch over to HDMI 1.4. okay, for Dolby Vision. If you have 1.4, you're like, well, I'm just going to keep 1.4 because I want a Dolby Vision, you're fine. You're perfectly fine. Do not go into the store, listen to that moist ass simp trying to sell you something more. And you now know at 1.4, you're fine. So go get a 1.4 if you want to convert to Dolby Vision, okay? Says, in other words, your TV will need a newer HDMI input to access HDR10 Plus from hardware devices, but won't, as was previously thought, need the new brand HDI 2.1. And remember, you had a bunch of people say, you need 2.1. Xbox supports 2.1. Horse shit. Horse shit. It won't do anything, okay? All right, so now you know that. You can still keep 2.0, okay? So you can keep, look at that. I'm highlighting that right now. 10 Plus requires HDMI 2.0, not 2.1. All right, you don't need 2.1. All right, at this point, there's no, if you want 2.1, go buy it, but it's not required. If you want to say, okay, I'm getting 2.1 to make sure it works, that's fine, but it's not required. You cannot come back to me and say it's required because I'll bust your cheeks right there. Okay? All right, initially, Dolby Vision required dedicated hardware to work, meaning it couldn't be added later via a firmware update. Remember when I said Dolby Vision is hardware? But that changed in February 17. Okay. When the company made Dolby Vision available as a software solution. So now I got to stand corrected. Obviously, it's been okay for over a year, and I didn't know. I got to take an L. All right. So, meaning hardware manufacturers, including TV and Ultra HD Blu-ray manufacturers, could add support later on. As such, there are now ultra high-definition Blu-ray players available that support both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. This is true because the TCL TV supports both. And some companies have released firmware updating, adding Dolby Vision support to their players. So don't be shocked if one day Sony makes an announcement to your PlayStation and it says, hey, look, we now offer Dolby Vision because it looks like they can do it per the software. Okay. So, that's just reality. Okay. We got to deal with the reality. So, oh, what's up, Lincoln Clay? How you doing, brother? So Lincoln Clay knocking out fools, waiting for 8K TVs. Man, you're gonna be waiting a long time. So all right, here we go. All right. So more TV makers have started supporting Dolby Vision as well. Early on, only Vizio and LG sold TVs with both Dolby Vision and HDR10. Since then, a number of manufacturers, including Sony, Hisense, and TCL. Now, I highly recommend the TCL TV. Oh my God, guys. Best Buy's got a 50-inch TCL television for $400. It's got both HDR and it's got Dolby Vision. You all better go get that TV right now. I am serious as a heart attack. Go get that TV right effing now. Okay? I'm serious. Stop listening to my podcast. Go to Best Buy, go to their website, whatever you got to do, and go buy that TV. Or you can be a really good Santa and buy it for the Messiah of Xbox. You can buy it for me. I will be so appreciative. I'll do 100 push-ups in front of the camera. In front of the camera. So, but a matter of fact, I'll make a straight trade. If somebody buys me that TV, I'll send you my Xbox One X. That's a trade right there. I'm a trader. I'm a trader, like on like The Witcher, trading stuff. All right. So I have cooked up models that support both. Meanwhile, as mentioned above, HDR10 Plus is relegated to just 2 TV makers. At the present, we know who they are. So HDR10 Plus availability as an open standard could eventually slow down Dolby Vision's rate of adoption, but at least for now, more and more TVs are supporting Dolby's tech. So this is good. This is good. So people want to know what TVs to buy. I'm not going to get into this down here. This is just that's what you buy. Okay. I mean, I personally would buy let me leave this screen here. You leave that like that. Let me do that. Let me turn this off. All right. Now I can see the chat. So now I can see the chat. Ah, yeah, bots doing push-ups. Wouldn't that be fun to say? So it's it is what it is. It is what it is. So Red Dead Redemption complaints are starting to surface. Okay. Well, I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect game. It's a good game. I mean, all games have issues. I mean, it's not the end of the world. So, but now you know what is HDR and what is Dolby Vision. Now you know. I left a link in the description in the chat so you guys can go check it out yourselves. Matter of fact, I don't see it anymore. The hell happened? So let me just go ahead. I'll put it back in there then. All right, that's the link to the article I just read. That's a 2018 article. And that's for everybody to learn about what it is, what it cannot, and what it can and cannot do. So, so it is what it is. So that's what they sent BG. Who? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry for BG. Tough for him. All right, then. All right, so let's move into the best 4K TVs. Now, the best 4K TV that I have seen so far for the money is the TCL. It is $400 out the door. It is what it is. It has Dolby Vision. It has HDR support up to 10 nits, and it's 50 inches. So it covers all the bases. It covers the size. It covers the technologies. And you have to assume that the PlayStation 5 is going to support both HDR and Dolby. I mean, that's probably going to happen, and then they may patch the Pro to do it as well. So it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know about taxes. I know mine are, I do not look forward to doing mine at all, but we'll be able to get our taxes done here in a few more weeks. Hard to believe. So a bot's doing push-ups. Yeah, there you go. All right, Andrew's not going to buy it. Well, I mean, that's fine, Andrew. It's not for everybody, but that's the best 4K TV I've seen for the money. Now, there are some 4K TVs going on sale, but I don't know which ones they are. Like, I've seen the Best Buy Black Friday ad leak, and, I've seen that ad leak. Matter of fact, there's some stuff I'm going to buy. But I also saw some real good deals though. Like I'm going to get the Echo Dot. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a flying saucer. So I'm going to buy that. That's $24. But then Google Home is a little round thing too. It's a little round white thing. And it's $29.99, but you get a $10 Best Buy gift card if you buy it. So I'm going to see if that's available today. I'm going to see if I go buy it, will they give me a gift card? That's one thing I'm buying. The next thing I'm going to buy is that's only like $30. The next thing I'm going to buy is a sound bar. I can buy a big sound bar or a little sound bar. I'm going to probably buy the little one. The little one is $39.99, but the big one is $49.99. So the TCL has 10 nits, okay, or 1,000. All right, it's a HDR TV. It's full HDR, and it has Dolby Vision. It's a good TV. And I'm talking about for people who want to spend. Look, you can spend less than $500 and get a brand new 4K TV with HDR and Dolby Vision. That's a good deal. Okay, that's a solid deal. Or you can spend $399 or $499 and get a Samsung TV with fake HDR. I'm not, the NU series is fake HDR. So, but it's going to be a brighter TV because all Samsung TVs are brighter than God knows than the friggin' sun. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, so it is what it is. So. Think about buying a Sony TV. Well, yeah, Sony makes the best TVs. Again, there's a Sony TV on sale on Black Friday, but I do not know what the brand is because they didn't put the brand in the Black Friday leak. They were very sneaky. So they were very sneaky. So Trump's tariffs will slap 25% on Chinese TVs. I don't know. It might. You know, I don't know where his tariffs are going to target. I thought they were targeting. Well, they might. Yeah, 25%. That won't be good at all. So that is not good. So there's an AMC Dolby Cinema near me. That sound and visuals are amazing. Well, if it's a Dolby Cinema, then it's probably using some type of Dolby Vision. So, but yeah, it has great sound. Dolby is great sound. So, so yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any questions. El Sung couldn't even get HDR 10 right. Well, they didn't get it right with me. I had a Matt's game. Yeah, I did, didn't I? Shout out to Matt's Gaming. So, what's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? So, LG and Sony run the alliance. Well, I mean, Samsung has a big say too, and so does Panasonic. I mean, those are the four major people. I agree. The 900 series, Sony's best TV you can get for the money. I mean, not unless you got big money. Let me make this clear. I'm only speaking for the people who got limited resources and they want stuff. The best thing for you to go buy 4K wise is a TCL. Do not let anybody else tell you it's a junk TV. You can go to the TV comparison website. It scores high on everything, even gaming, where Hisense takes the L. Let me tell you where Hisense takes the L is the latency. Hisense has a major latency problem. So it has a major latency. Oh, you're welcome, Cyber Dragon. It has a major latency problem. So I'm just letting you all know that right now. So, so I got one more taker on the Xbox X. They said that they paid $300 for it. So, but there's some Xbox One S deals. So there's a Black Friday deal at Kohl's for a 1 terabyte Xbox One S with 2 games, and it's going to be $299.99. So, so you know, yeah, I'll freaking bust your cheeks with my foot. You're not gonna let it slide. I will put my foot up your ass. So, you know, I'll bust your cheeks with my foot. Yeah. You spent good money on your HDR OLED with Dolby Vision. Yeah, well, again, you sure did. Yeah. I mean, shout out to anybody who's going to drop that kind of coin. So how many nits? Yeah, the TCL, I don't know. Since Max bought a TCL with only 280 nit brightness, well, then he bought the wrong TV. That's what I'm saying. The TV I think I'm talking about is the M series. Is it the M or the S series? So, so yeah. But those are your best. So the best TV I can recommend right now physically is, I know, shout out to Lincoln Clay. He said he had a Best Buy credit card. Lincoln, you may want to go ahead and check out this TCL 49-inch TV. It's got it's 49 inches, not the 40. I don't think they make a 43, but if they make a 43, stay away from it. It's a 49-inch screen TCL. Just look at that TV. $500 or $400 out the door. $399.99 plus tax in my states. $438.72. That's how much it'll be in my state. But I know you live somewhere else. So, shit, I may try to go tailgating today and get a parking spot. So, so your cell phone is brighter than TCL. Well, I mean, again, that's the trade-off. But I mean, again, you need to go in and mess around with your settings. I think there's a lot of people that buy 4K TVs. They go home and plug them in, they program them, but then they don't go in and change the settings. I've said this before. My settings on Mass Effect Andromeda are not the same as they are on Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I had different settings. Okay, so it's just because the colors are different. You know, Spider-Man is stressing different colors than Mass Effect is. So this it is what it is. So, and my Mass Effect's a great looking game. It's this one of the best looking games I've seen. I'm talking about Andromeda. So, but the game itself is garbage. So your Sony TV are 70. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, well, I mean, once you get to about 55 inches, your TV, your eyes can't process the extra information anyway. That's why I'm telling people 49 to 55 inches, and you sit back about 7 feet, you are going to have a great picture. So Andromeda looks like Halo. No, it does not look like Halo. So it doesn't look like Halo. So thoughts on Fallout 76 beta? Haven't played it. But if you have a code, I've got it. I got my Xbox back. I've got it plugged in. So anybody that has a code can go ahead and send it to the black man in the green chair. So, but if you don't got no code, I don't want to hear it. So, so, so yeah. But yeah, like I said, anybody, if you like the podcast, and I do appreciate you all being here, you all can hit me, hit a brother up on PayPal. It definitely helps the channel. If not, you can go ahead and share the too cheap and lousy. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I looked into this TCL TV. I did, and it's actually not a bad buy. Okay, and it's $400. And if you buy something for around the holidays, you can keep it for 6 weeks and take it back. So, but yeah, guys, I'm about to bounce out of here because I am going to try to go tailgating. I'm going to see if I can get a spot on the street that I usually go to, and if I can, I'll get out and go tailgating. If I can't, I'll go to the grocery store and do my poor man's tailgate here. So. Red Dead Redemption is, I mean, if anybody's got any questions, I'll stick around. So somebody's Red Dead's a 97. Is 97 bad? I mean, I'm just saying, is a 97 bad? No, it's not. I mean, tailgate where? Well, I live in a state where the SEC is going to be decided today. I live in one of those states, so everybody's gone out tailgating this morning. So I just have to go. I have to go park. I don't have a parking permit, so I have to park on a certain street, and I need to head on over there to see if I can actually park on that street. So it was a 98 before, but now it's a 97. Okay, well, is there a big difference in a 98 and a 97? And again, you all know me. I don't give a rat's ass what other people think. I mean, if it's good, I thought the game was good, not great. I gave it a solid 7 out of 10. Ryan, the professional, gave it an 8. I mean, that's what I would give it. I mean, it's a 7, 7.5. It's a good game. It's a good game. So, all right then, guys. I'm going to bounce out of here. Like I said, I'm going to check to see if I can even park, and if I can't, I'm just going to come right back home and sulk, throw my food in the oven and let it go. But guys, I'm gonna get on off here. I appreciate you joining me. If you want to catch it on the replay, I appreciate it. And share this with everybody. You now know the difference in HDR and Dolby Vision. And y'all take it easy. Peace.